My name is Russ Cusick, and I play King Admetus in the second act of the Alcestiad. My favorite line of text in the act is when Admetus says to Alcestis, "My life has been short, but a single hour can hold the whole fullness of time." Admetus says this to Alcestis when he does believe it is his last day on earth, and that this may be their last conversation. I really relate to the line because as someone who is comfortably into middle age and someone who's been married happily for many, many years and has beautiful children, I too know what it means that a single hour can hold the whole fullness of time. There have been such moments of joy in my own life that no matter what else is going on, I can think to myself at that moment, if this is as good as it gets, this is good enough. I really appreciate that Thornton Wilder is able to give such a human contemporary voice to these larger-than-life epic Greek characters. I look forward to sharing Admetus's love of Alcestis and this line, and I really hope the audiences respond as strongly as I have.
Hello, I'm George Drance, and I'm playing Apollo in Magis Theatre Company's production of Thornton Wilder's Alcestiad. For me, the most important line that Apollo speaks is at the end of Act 3 when Alcestis is passing from this earthly life into the next life, and she begins to let go of things, a life full of questions, full of sacrifice, of longing, of transformation, of suffering, and through it all, a deep understanding that makes her feel happiness. And she says to Apollo, "And whom do I have to thank for all the happiness?" His response is, "Friends do not ask each other that question, Alcestis. Those who have loved each other do not ask each other that question." I think as we look at our own lives, we hope for a kind of meaning, a kind of understanding of life that really abides in happiness through all of the transformations and the sacrifices and the sufferings. Something of that remains for us.
Hi, I'm Margi Sharp-Douglas, and I am playing Alcestis in the second and third act of the Alcestiad with Magis Theatre. And the most inspiring thing about working on Alcestis is her listening, her faith that no matter how horrible or miserable things seem to be to everyone else, she's always sure that there is a reason and that we're here to understand that reason and to learn from that reason and to move forward. And by the third act, a tyrant king has come in, taken over the kingdom, killed her husband, 2 of her children, and she's a slave in the kingdom. She's called Alcestis the Wise. And her only surviving son, Epimenes, comes back to revenge his father. And he encounters his mother, but at first neither one of them recognize each other. And as they begin to speak, she tells him who she is, he tells her. And he's struck by what he perceives as her misery. And he says to her, "You unhappy." And she stops him there and she says, "No, no, Epimenes, do not call me unhappy. Great happiness was given to me once, yes, but shall I forget that now and forget the one who gave it to me? All that has happened since came from the same hand that gave me the happiness. I shall not doubt that it is good and has a part in something I cannot see." And that to me is one of the most powerful lines of the play and one of her most powerful lines. And there's much to be learned from it. And I'm excited to be working on this production.